Hafthor Bjornsonn defeated Eddie Hall in the world's heaviest celebrity boxing match by unanimous decision. So let's go over what happened, what went wrong for Eddie Hall, what went right for Thor, and let's look and recap the fight. First of all, in the previous video, we summed up what we thought was gonna happen, and it basically happened. We knew that based on the training footage from Eddie Hall, there was nothing much going on. He was basically just sticking to his strongman training workouts, basically just lifting heavy, not working too much on a cardio, not trying to do too much sparring. There was not a lot of videos released in that matter. And even though Eddie was saying that, hey, I trained a lot for this fight, but it's not published. It was something that, if it's not published, we have to believe his word, but he didn't lose a lot of weight. There was not much change in his technique compared from video to video. So we can only think that those secret training wars and boxing matches that he had did not really happen. It looked like to me that Eddie Hall really believed that, like, hey, I'm gonna turn it into a fight. And he believed his own bravado, because the only thing he did the entire fight was basically just winding that right overhand right. Basically, it was just throwing that one haymaker, and that was it. To be honest, in the previous video, I predicted that throwing an overhand right is a powerful tool how to counter a taller opponent with a longer reach. And especially Thor, we could see in all of his matches that he had a tendency to drop his guard a little bit. And even Deon Larratt caught him with that overhand right. So I think it was a valid tactic for Eddie Hall. However, you cannot base your entire tactic around one shot. I mean, if you're someone like Deontay Wilder and you have that one shot that can basically just erase all of your mistakes, then sure, go for it. But if you are just a novice boxer and you don't have a lot of technique or a lot of experience, you should not train and base your entire fight around just one shot. You should just, you should add more into your caliber of attacks. You should add a little some jab, some bob and weave, and not just like step back and wind it like Marge from Simpsons. That's not a very good tactic. However, Eddie Hall had few good moments. You could see in the beginning of the fight, this fight was amazing because they literally hate each other, and you could see in the beginning of the fight, everybody was like, oh, I'm gonna murder this guy, and you could see it was just a proper fight, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed that part. But at the same time, Eddie Hall didn't do enough to showcase anything. I mean, honestly, I don't think he really prepared as much as Thor did. I think he took very laid back approach. I saw one comment that summed it up very well, that in 2017, Hafthor had a lot of yes men around him, and now in 2022, Eddie Hall had a lot of yes men around him, and that's why he disregarded the boxing training. He didn't do too much, and he just thought that he's gonna just knock Thor out. However, if you look at the Hafthor Bjornsonn and what he did, it was very impressive. I expected a little bit more from him, but it was very impressive. So why do we know that Thor was much well prepared than Eddie, even though despite we've seen the match? Well, first of all, boxing is cardio heavy sport. Eddie Hall has a general good cardio. However, boxing is just a different level. And if you ever sparred, or at least hit the bag for several rounds, you know what I'm talking about. Boxing, in terms of cardio, is just a completely different beast. And Hafthor Bjornsonn was very well prepared. And the one fact that speaks of it is that he lost over 50 kilograms of his body weight for preparation for this match. That's just the pure dedication to cardio and diet, and that speaks a lot. Next thing is, though, that we know that Thor had a legitimate boxing trainer. Well, so did Eddie Hall, but Thor literally moved to Scotland and worked with him much more. He had those set up entertainment matches, which also prepared him very well, so he can expect something else. Because when you are sparring with someone, you cannot go all the way. There is certain things that you don't see in sparring which you can experience in a real fight. And that's why I think having those exhibition matches for Thor was a major difference that happened between Eddie and Thor. However, Thor practiced what he was supposed to do. He's a taller opponent and has a longer reach. So all he had to do was basically just hide behind the jab and just keep doing this 1-2, 1-2 the whole match, and that was enough for him to win. And that's what he did. However, I expected a little bit more from him, since he was very dedicated and trained for a long time, and Eddie Hall was just dropping his hands, just winding that right overhand right. All you had to do is just check him with one quick left hook, and Eddie Hall would fumble like a rock, So, and Thor never did it, It was just open all night, and I was just like wondering, oh man, just like, I understand it was safer to stay behind that jab, but that left hook, that left check hook, it was just there all the time, the whole night. However, I really enjoyed the match. People say like, oh, they were just boring, too slow, and nothing really happened. You have to understand, these two guys are literally almost the heaviest people on earth, or the strongest people on earth at the same time. The amount, like, you could see on Thor, like, there was just a sheer size when he was moving and punching Eddie. And Eddie Hall was the same. There was just like sheer size. And seeing someone that huge and that strong just move and just trying to hit someone like that itself was entertaining. Good thing is was also the match was streamed for free, so you don't have to pay for it. So it was a very good entertainment, and I really enjoyed the match. And if there is a rematch, I think I will also enjoy that too. Especially if Eddie Hall hires some proper trainer and actually dedicates himself. I think that the rematch can be pretty good and pretty entertaining. Especially that we know that these guys they say they buried the hatchet, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen, because the Thor is already posting some videos that, technique does matter, like the one here. So there is still a little bit of drama and salt left. However, I think also Martin Ford versus Hafthor Bjornsonn could be a good fight. We'll see how Martin Ford actually improves himself, but there is plenty room in a celebrity in boxing. But this is why the strongman in boxing can be more entertaining, because it's not just the celebrities, People care about seeing Jake Paul and Logan Paul and other people in doing these matches, but seeing the strongest man in the world doing it and transitioning while carrying 140 kilograms of pure muscle, that's the intriguing thing. And I think this fight was pretty good. It was pretty entertaining. What did you guys think? Did you think that Thor dominated Eddie as easy? I think the knockdown spoke for itself, and I really enjoyed the fight. Let me know if you enjoyed as well, and I will see you in the next one.